It's been a fantastic journey of yours, right? And first of all, I am super proud of you, how you've been able to, change the narrative for yourself, right? If you were able to get jobs, maybe like, do you think age played a factor? Because after you came back during your 13 years, you were able to like go out there, look for jobs. You talked about working, at the gym, the car wash, selling cars and all of that stuff. Didn't you think this is possibly something you would have tried earlier, or you think age kind of like played a factor on your level of thinking at that time?
I like I said, time did.
Right.
Time just played. God knows how to give you perfect timing. And while you may not know everything that you're going to do, you have to just move along with time. Learn all that you can learn, because 90% of things that you do, you're going to only use stuff that you have already learned. Mm-hmm. Communication skills. I learned a lot of communication skills sitting in prison. And I just was able to come because they had job fairs,
right,
and things of that nature. So I learned how to be communicative. I learned how to just be able to use myself as a tool to push forward, but I've always been that way.
Do you think I've never been to jail, right? So I don't know how it is over there. But do you think there's a proper system in place that when people get locked up, you're not just being locked up, but you're being kept somewhere where you can be rehabilitated? Is there a rehabilitation process that help people like yourself who is different from when you're committing murder, right? Or you've committed murder and you're locked up. But I think when somebody is making wrong decisions, like selling drugs and being arrested a lot of time, I feel like if there is a system that helps with the rehabilitation of their mind when they are brought over there, it helps them become a better person. So the question would be, while you were in jail, what was the system in place to help people like you retrace your step back? And when you get back to the society, you're not just like, okay, you're free to go, boom, go. And then you go make some mistake. What was there like a system that helps you be a better person?
They do happen to have classes and a bunch of stuff that's in there. They don't force you to take anything.
Right.
It's up to you to decide and make the choice to want to better yourself. Some people, they sit in there, they watch TV, they play games, and they might even work on their body.
Right.
You have to work on your mind. You have to work on to me, we're 3-part beings: spiritual, mental, physical. And if you work on all three, you become a better person. Because you don't want to just be mental and spiritual, and then you let your body go to waste. You want to work on everything. So they do have, but you have to utilize the things that's there.
That they have.
And I was in federal prison, so I did do 2 years in the state, but I wasn't really there long enough to know what they actually have.
Right.
But in the federal system, they did have certain things, but it's up to you to utilize.
To use it or not. Let's talk about gun violence. Mm-hmm. Because it really baffles me how you were able to have like access to guns to the point of having 24 guns. I've never owned a gun in my life. Never. I've seen it. I've gone to the gun range, shoot. I know how to shoot, but I never bought one. I didn't think I have a reason to, But I know it's everywhere in America. It's really, really everywhere. Imagine if you are in Africa, where I'm from, Nigeria, and you have 24 guns. You want to take the entire community, or what you it's like it's trying to stage a community war. Like the government will come for you. Like, bro, what are you doing? You haven't won in my country. Mm-hmm. It's almost impossible unless you're a genuine criminal, genuine killer. But in your sense, you're not. You're a businessman, you know. But you're dealing on the illegal stuff.
Yes.
Right. So that's how I interpret it. So 24 guns,
26.
26 guns in the state of Virginia. What do you make out of that?
I mean, hey, it was just part of life at the time. Learning, it was something that I used, and like I told you before,
Yeah.
I was only gonna use them if I needed to.
Right.
But they were really just if I needed to actually use them, and that was really to make more money, just in case my money went gone.
And that takes me to, I interviewed somebody one time because I'm doing a documentary on gun violence called Guns of America. And I saw a parent, young lady and her husband driving and road rage, you know, in the process of driving road rage. And the other guy, boom, shot at them. And she had a son, like a 1-year-old baby, on a car seat at the back of the seat. And the bullet went and missed the child and hit like went into the arm of the
Of the car seat.
of the child seat,
Yeah.
the car seat. The baby didn't die, nothing happened, but it missed that child. Like
Just by inches.
just went in. So it went through and just went into the rim, you know, the rail, whatever you want to call it, right? And made a huge hole and went out. And I went to have a conversation with them. And I could see how devastated they were, how they almost lost their child to somebody just out of nowhere bringing out a gun on the road because he was trying to move and boom. That killed me. And I also had an interview, a conversation with a father whose daughter went to jail because he bought a gun off Amazon, air gun off Amazon, right? Not like the real gun, but you know the air gun looks real. That's what they said, right? And she got an air gun off Amazon and shot her boyfriend at close range.
Oh, did it kill him?
He died.
Was she? Cause they I have purchased a BB gun and air gun basically.
Yeah.
And they are very powerful.
Yes.
What did he hit him? I mean, what did she hit in the eye?
In the head. And he died. Air gun. You know, they tell you you don't kill, but he shot him at close range. And
I didn't know it would kill you though.
he died. I went to speak with this man. That same man, while his daughter was serving time in jail for shooting her boyfriend, lost his son 2 weeks after the daughter was sentenced. The son shot somebody. Got shot on his way to school by gangs in DC. Right? All of this you see in my documentary. And I saw a devastated father whose daughter is in jail.
And whose son
Is dead. This happened in the space of 3 months. And showed me the kid loves sport, actively in sport, all of the things he wanted to do as a child. And so many other things I've gotten to talk to people I've spoken to about guns in America. I've been at Walgreens in DC at night. I moved to my old apartment when I was, and I wanted to go get brooms and some stuff I need to clean my house. And while I was at Walgreens, somebody shot from outside into Walgreens. And we all went on the floor. We have no reason why he shot. That bullet could have hit anybody. He just shot into Walgreens. And the cops came, see the area, and they were asking us a bunch of questions. But this and so much more has been my experience. So what I've seen with what people are doing with guns in America. And that brings me to the part where I say, would you, how would you speak well about gun control? What would be your take on gun control? What would be your take on gun violence? What would, from somebody who's been in the position where you have access to a lot? I'm sure you have examples, some examples you probably would be able to share yourself.
Well, you got emotional intelligence. Everybody's not emotionally intelligent.
Right.
This is the reason why you have road rage incidents where somebody can get upset and mad enough to shoot in a car.
Right.
The parents just should have been, to be honest, grateful that their kid is
Was
still
alive. Yeah, they were. Of course, they were grateful.
But their mind can stay in one spot where
Right.
I almost lost instead of saying, thank you, God, that they not gone.
Yeah, right.
And that's what I mean.
Right.
Because there are kids who get hit by strays.
Right.
And emotional intelligence is very important because if you, especially for this community, everybody is enraged with anger here.
Right.
And instead of just looking at the beauty of life, life is beautiful. And you can't see it most of the time because we don't really look for it. But the thing about it is the ugly actually make you love life more. It make you value the things that need to be valued, which is life itself.
But why so much guns? Why do we have access to so much guns?
You got to ask the politicians. You got to ask these people who create them. Look, I couldn't tell you why. All I can tell you is we as a community have to learn to love one another. And that's what will change a lot of stuff. When we learn to not see the differences in everybody, but learn to see the uniqueness in how we are together. When we start telling each other, yo, I love you.
Yeah.
This will change the dynamics of how we view people, how we view things.
Because if you had access to 26 at one time, and remember, when you went away for 26 years, you didn't know what happened to your gun anymore.
Nah, I know what happened, but I don't know what happened. Like, I know who got rid of them, but I don't know what happened.
Yeah, you know who got rid of it, but you do not know on record whose hands is ending up with. You know who got rid of them, but who got rid of them did not keep the 26 of them for himself or herself. He got rid of them to make money, right?
Yes.
So you have no idea
whose hands
it fell into, and what the 26
done.
Yeah, would have been used for.
All I can say is, look, hey, don't nobody know whose hands, like even the government, when they sell guns or whatever, they don't know whose hands these guns are getting into.
Yeah.
All they're hoping for is, hopefully they're not even hoping for the worst, but obviously, more than likely they might be, is that something gonna happen. And this is what happened with teenagers get bullied.
Yeah.
Or students get bullied.
Right.
And what happened, you have school shootings. This is This, you have to teach emotional intelligence.
Right.
And you have to teach people how to use guns. People get angry. The first thing they think
is guns.
Fight or a gun.
Right.
And nobody's teaching people how to be emotionally intelligent. Nobody's teaching people how to love each other. So what you get is war.
Thinking about emotional intelligence, I'll tell you another idea, another story of somebody pulling up a gun at me, myself.
Okay.
And how smart I became, right? So I went to my barber's shop somewhere in Maryland. Because I'm bald, right? So, but I'm very particular about my beard. So I always have this guy who shaves, like, clean up my head and give me the perfect beard trimming that I wanted. And somewhere in Maryland. And I always go there, like maybe 3 weeks or once a month. But I have my clipper, my own personal care stuff that I use. So when I really want to get a good shave, I go to him. So I got there this day. He wasn't around. So another barber was there. So I'm like, can you take me? He said yes. And he did a very terrible job, right? And I like, yo, and I'm very sensitive with my beard because that's the only thing I have. There is no hair to mess with. So the beard is very sensitive to me, you know? And I'm like, you know what? this is not how I like you to shape my beard. Do you mind if he got angry? And I still sat. I like try to talk to him again, how he could make it. He already ruined it. So I like trying to show him how I could make it better because I was going for an event. He got really furious. So I like, you know what? Don't, it's okay. Don't touch me anymore. And I took off the
cake.
yeah, like, it's fine. And I'm like, how much is your money? He said, $30. Like, you got Cash App? He was like, then I was trying to Cash App. And I'm like, sir, I'm paying you, but I feel like there's a better way you can communicate with me. I don't just like the way you're speaking to me, especially when I'm trying to tell you, you've not done a good job with my hair, with my beard, right? Mm-hmm. He got really angry. What you saying? What you saying? You gonna pay me my money or what? I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna pay your money, but you need to calm down. I already asked you for your Cash App, but you're not listening to me. You messed my beard up. Mm-hmm. And that's the part I'm trying to communicate to you. And I'm like, you know, you're gonna give my money. You see, if you don't give me my money right now, and I was like, you're not gonna touch me. I'm like, you said what? That's when he got up and he went into his drawer. I knew he picked up a gun. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I knew he picked up a gun. That's when a part of me said, this guy he's done his time. He's done time in jail many times, right? I've never been to jail. And I have to be the careful one. Mm-hmm. I'm the one who has a lot to lose.
Mm-hmm. Life.
Yes. He's ready for whatever. If you look at him, you will know this guy wants to go to jail so the government can look after him. So he's looking for somebody who's going to send him back there. So when he picked up a gun, I said to him, you're not going to use that thing, right? I said, you're not going to use that thing. And he was like, what are you going to do? So I kept quiet. I was looking at him. So I let him, he was right in my face. Never been a human being in this world that has stood to my face except that guy. So I knew if I react, it would get messy. Mm-hmm. I didn't have a gun, never had one. But whose life is at stake? And this was in a barber shop. They're still open now. At a barber shop, right there, everybody was watching. And his colleague called me, was like, what's going on? I'm like, this is what he did. He said to me, just give him his money. I'm like, what's your Cash App? So I took the cash and I gave it to him. And his colleague was like, do I want him to like take care of me so I can be able to
go to your event?
I like, it's fine. So I left. You know. But what I was able to do then was understand that I have a lot more to lose. Life. I could have been shot by this guy. This guy did not value it. He doesn't care what's going to happen to him. I have a brighter future. I'm younger. I have a family to raise. He has nothing to lose. I have a great career ahead of me and everything.
He do got a lot to lose. He don't know it. Emotional intelligence is me being able to push back my emotions to see the bigger picture. He may have kids. He may have just as big a brighter future than you as you have. But his emotions are too stirred up in order for him to see it. We are people living their emotions a lot these days. Instead of having the idea that this is only for a second. I heard somebody say that a 5-second choice could cost you 20, 30 years of your life.
Yep.
And for him, he was ready to throw everything away over what? His feelings.
Yep.
Feelings are nothing. They come, they go.
Yeah.
I can make you pissed off right now and then probably make you smile in the next 5 seconds.
Right.
You have to let feelings be what they are and learn to be the controller of your emotions. I ain't saying to suppress them, but understand them. I can be mad. I might need to take a walk to gather myself because I can mess up just that quick. And with him, he was willing to throw everything away off of an emotion.
Right.
Not that neither one of y'all don't have something to throw away, because even if he has been in prison or haven't, because we don't know, he still is a human, and you are. There would have been 2 lives lost instead of just one.
Right.
His life would have been sitting behind a box, having to deal with nothing, over nothing. People set principles on the wrong things. What is our principles should be on is, yes, he messed up. He didn't want to hear that. He couldn't deal with that.
Right.
But he have to learn to deal with, look, when you mess up, somebody correct you, it's only about you learning to be better. Because he could have been a better barber because of your information that you gave him.
Right.
But he took at it as it was something against his character.
Right.
And it was never against his character. It was against the thing that he couldn't get right at the time. Hopefully, what'll happen is this young man be back.
Another thing that I know about that guy was, I think he's sick, right? So I will explain that. I've been cutting my hair for over 36 years and counting, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've always seen barbers cutting your hair, you know?
Mm-hmm.
This is what something like this did. I cut my hair myself. Like, I shave all of this myself. You know, you do this. And when it's time to trim, you know,
Mm-hmm.
you use the one hand. Sometimes my barber, he uses like the razor blade,
Yes.
the sharp one, and he gives you nice line and stuff. This guy is sick. So I could relate to the fact that he was sick. That's why he's so angry. I'll tell you why I feel like he was sick. All the while he was barbing me, his hands was shaking. He was never able to hold
Steady.
this thing steady. So all the while he was barbing me or cutting my hair, he was using this hand
To steady.
so you will see like it was the fact that he was holding it, his hand was still very shaky, like someone that had like panic and disease.
He dealing with some stuff.
Yeah. So I felt like when I was telling him, you didn't cut me right, the anger he was expressing was coming from the inside of what he's dealing with. But he didn't know I wasn't his enemy.
And this is most people. People don't understand one thing. Everything starts with you.
Right.
You are the main character of your story, and you have to center yourself. Me, I center it around God. This is where my peace, my joy, things don't go wrong for me.
Right.
I ain't saying that things don't happen, but I learned that I am the controller of whatever happens.
Yeah.
In spite of, I don't have to be angry. I don't have to react. I have to ask God, hey, what are you doing in this season?
Right.
In this moment, what do you want me to learn? And this is where I become better. I become, because my focus shifts not on the problem, but on me and how I can shift.
Right.
And when these things happen, you become a better human being. Like you said, he's dealing with something. And it's from within.
Right.
All he know how to do is be angry.
Yeah.
And he needs help. He needs somebody that can just have a conversation with him.
Right.
Because conversations and communication is what shapes and reshapes the way we think. He needed that to be challenged. Nobody's probably challenging him to think. And this is society as a whole.
I feel like if I see that guy again, if I ever go to that shop, I would have a conversation with him. You know, a conversation from a place of love.
Yes.
From a place of care. I feel like he's fighting something because I didn't do anything. All I said was, you didn't cut my hair right.
Man need a hug.
And I was trying to tell him how to better cut my hair.
Yes.
Or shave my beard, rather. And he was so angry, and he picked the gun.
One, he had messed up. Men don't like to mess up. Two, nobody has talked to him in the way that, one, we already know, like I said, he was dealing with something.
Right.
So he don't know how to take constructive criticism.
Right.
He don't know how to re-look at what he had done.
Right.
All he felt was, man, I got to be a man, and I look, I ain't messing nothing up. Nah, that ain't how this works. You need help. And love is the thing that breaks down barriers.
And that's why the idea of gun control is very important, because this man had access to a tool that is so dangerous when he is also even more dangerous than the tool he has, because his mental state is far more. If I have a gun, I'm sane, I'm okay, I'm great. I think I will barely. It's only when my life is fully in danger, like you come to rob me in my house. In fact, if you come rob me in my house, I probably won't shoot you. I'm being honest, right? The only thing that will make me shoot somebody would not even be you attacking me. I promise you, I'm that type of guy. But if you come for my kids, I'll take you out. I don't need a gun to take you out. If my child is in danger because of you, I don't need a gun to take you out.
But you're going to do whatever you can to protect.
I would take you out. You would have to kill me, but you gonna go through me. You know what I'm saying? So if I have a gun, my child's life, I will shoot you. I won't think twice.
As you should.
As I should, right? But I'm saying if I have a gun and I'm the one in danger, I probably won't touch you. You get what I'm saying? Because I feel like I can take care of me. My child and my wife.
You don't think they can take care of
I'm not
themselves?
married yet, yeah? But my child and my wife, when I do, it's my responsibility
To be the protector.
to protect them.
So I'm going to challenge your thought. Not that I want you to harm anybody.
Right.
But what if somebody came and they were going to harm you? You couldn't do nothing but. That's what protection is that you would have to pick up the gun, because you got to remember, you're the protector. If you're gone, they aren't going to be protected because you're going to be gone.
No, so what I'm saying is,
hand-to-hand combat or something.
not even that. I'm saying the way I would react when I'm the one in danger.
Yes, it's different.
Is different from.
No, I understand.
I'll protect myself.
Okay.
I will always protect myself, right? But I'm saying it's easier for me to forgive you if I'm the one you're trying to hurt.
But you can't do it if you got if it's involving your kids,
Yeah,
your wife. I
yeah,
got you.
yeah.
I got you.
You know, if you take a gun, you shoot me right now in court, I could forgive you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of reasons I would forgive you when I'm the one who's directly
impacted.
You know what I'm saying? But and I pray not to ever be in this situation where my life is directly at risk, because I wouldn't want my kids and my wife to live without me, right? But I'm saying you have a greater chance of surviving
if they ain't involved.
If they ain't involved.
I got you.
When they're involved, you have no chance of survival.
As you should.
You know what I mean? So that's what I'm just going. This has been a great conversation. I would want us to talk about your book and how people can get the book, in the old book and the new book. But before then, yep. So your book. I know about the one I bought. You know, you say you have a new one?
Yes.
Have you started selling that one?
No, not yet. I haven't even started pushing it yet.
Is it published?
Yeah, it's on Amazon and everything. It's just that at the moment, until I can get physical copies in my hand, because I am going to start distributing this one totally different. The first one, I sold like 300 books in my first 3 months.
Right.
But it was all on Amazon.
Right.
So this one, that first 300, I want in my pocket.
Nice. So the one that I had before, what's that one called again?
It's called What If.
What If. And this new one is called what?
The Autobiography of the Butterfly, How the Caterpillar Made It Through.
What is that about?
So I'm going to use me.
Yeah.
When you see me, you see, I like to say, the butterfly.
Right.
You see an individual, but what you don't know is the backstory.
Right.
This whole interview, what me and you just did was, I got to share the backstory of how I've been in trouble, the things that I overcame to become who I am now.
Right.
So in this book, I illustrated as well. You see the butterfly telling the story of what the caterpillar went through, it being called ugly, it getting in a situation where one of his friends ended up getting eaten up, and it had to deal with the emotional standpoint, it looking for shelter, but all to become the butterfly that it became. So it's a little bit of, if you ask me, it's for everybody,
Right.
because what I look at you, I know of you. I don't know the story that comes to get you
behind,
here.
yeah.
But you have to tell your story. And when you tell your story, what happens is it becomes impactful. It helps other people know I can go through pure hell and still make it. And that's the reason for it.
Awesome. And where do we get the book on Amazon?
You can get either book on Amazon, Book a Million, Walmart, or you can DM me, Walkers_Gallery 2 on Instagram, and I ship. I do all of that.
How much is the book?
It's $25.
Okay.
Now, both of them are $25, especially if I got to ship it. The $5 basically is
For
just shipping cost.
So it's like $20.
Yes.
Okay. So I've had the old one, right? And I've read it, and but I've not read the new one. But this is what we're gonna do on this show, because we have to support the business, right? So $20 at 10 books is how much?
$200.
$20 at 20 books is how much?
You said 20?
Yeah, $20 for 20 books is how much?
That's 400.
400. So I'm gonna pick 20 books from the new one, right? $400, right? So I'm gonna buy 20 books. Now, this is what I want you to do with the 20 books. I want you to go to kids that you think they really need to read this book for their life to be impacted. I mean, we got some copies from the old one before, right?
Yeah.
So let's get 20 of this new one, right? And let's donate it to people. So I want you to help me donate those books to people. But I will need a copy for myself.
You already know it.
So you have to donate 19.
19 and make sure.
Make sure I get one. Sign it and let me have it. So the 19 is going to
youth.
Yeah, to the youth. Courtesy the Conversation podcast. Please let them have it. Let them read it, because I think it will be very impactful. So we would ensure we send you the money for 20 books from the Conversation podcast. I am, look, you're an awesome person. I love what you're doing. And the fact that you have a new book coming here today just shows there is something about you that you can't stop doing, and you got to keep going this way. I don't want to ever hear, or call or see that you went away again because you lost the line, I don't want you to lose track. I don't want you to lose your step. You're selling these books. Let's sell the books. I'd rather help you sell books. I'd rather buy books from you than come help you make bail. You know what I mean? I'd rather wanna help you print books. I'd rather wanna raise money for you to write more books. I rather want to advertise your book. I rather want to tell people about your intelligence. I do not want you to ever go back to where you've been, because you're my friend now. You know what I mean? You're my friend. Even if we don't talk every day, we see each other. And I want to see you the next time and know you have something new, something great. We black people, we have to do so much more to be great.
Yes.
We have to put in extra work to be great. We have to put in a lot of more talk to be great. We have to do a lot of more convincing to be great. So I can't imagine when somebody like you, who's been incarcerated a couple of times, I can't imagine how much more you have to tell people for them to know they can trust you. I don't know how much more you have to elaborate things. I don't know how much more you have to go to prove something, right? But you've been able to navigate this system successfully since you've decided to tread this positive path. And you got to keep going. I want to know that one day your book will be one of the best sellers in this country. And I'll say, yo, that guy, he's my friend. I don't want you to go back there because people are listening to you. People are watching you. People are trying to hear from you. People need to learn from you. You know, one of the things about we black people is it's almost like there's a narrative the way our life is written. Give birth to that child. He struggles as a child and he goes to jail. Done. Or give birth to the child. He struggles as a child and he gets shot dead. You know what I'm saying? Or give birth to the child. He goes to jail. He comes out and he's suffering. Or he goes back to jail. He comes out, goes back to jail. Comes out, goes back to jail. That's the story of almost every black person in this country. It's like we've been in jail is a normal thing.
I like to say that is the narrative shown.
Yeah.
The reason why you kept seeing me look at my phone, I started interviewing people who have been to prison,
Right.
came home, and that are doing great.
Right.
I know so many, but what they don't do is tell their story.
Right.
So what I'm working on now is showing the opposite of the narrative.
Right.
Because a lot of us do come home, and what we do, we tend to go to work and work, and become great, but nobody sees it.
Nobody sees it. Yeah.
So it's my duty, and it is my duty to go back, but I'm going back through the different door.
Right.
I want to show people in prison that you can be successful.
Right.
And that's my duty.
Right.
It's my duty to do a few things, but to show the youth, it doesn't matter. You should be working to being great regardless. But if you find yourself in a situation, know that you have also the opportunity to change.
Right.
Choices is yours. I understand the scenario of a lot of people end up selling drugs and going back to the lifestyle because of, yes, choices, but because they don't think that they can make a better choice.
Right.
I can show you different.
Right.
Because I had to work 2, 3, 4 jobs before what God gave me. It says your gift will make room for you and put you before great men.
Right.
Before your gift is actually used to do the things that you're called to do. And my gift, I've been drawing there since I was 8 years old.
You never knew that's what it's going to make a way for you at the end of the day.
I didn't know.
Right.
I knew I was an artist, but I'd never seen nobody.
Yeah.
To be able to see
Yeah.
someone successful, whether it's in doing what you do,
Right.
to be able to see someone successful in being able to draw and sell it,
Right.
and know that everything that we
Because
see,
you didn't have the information. The environment you found yourself did not help you understand that you had a great tool
and don't know how to use it.
and you were using it, but you were not applying it into changing your lives.
I heard somebody say, look, it was a pencil. And the pencil just sat there. It had never been sharpened.
Right.
Imagine somebody taking that pencil and trying to write.
Right.
Never been sharpened.
Right.
You get nothing.
Nothing. Right.
But when you see somebody go and take it and
Sharpen it.
then sit there and do something on the paper, you realize that the tool can do way more
way
than
more.
what the tool
Right.
is sitting there doing. But it has to be sharpened.
Right. And in the process of sharpening that pencil, it hurts.
It hurts.
That's the pain.
It's hurting the pencil.
Yeah, that's the pain. But you're being sharpened as a pencil. You're getting prepared for your greatness to be able to tell a story.
To tell a story. So, like I told you earlier, when I first started, my brother told me, most people who go through something,
Right.
painful situations, they become the wisest. And it's okay. Life is meant for you to go through things.
What would be your biggest regret right now?
I don't have one. I got to see both of my parents out on this side before they passed. That was probably the second biggest thing God has ever given me outside of life itself. Then, yes, the rest of it is my artwork, the people that I get to meet. That, to me, relationships that you meet, the people that you get to share your stories and your life with, they are grand. I want to meet great people.
Right.
I couldn't make this up if I wanted to. But God has allowed me to meet nothing but great people. Same place I met you, I met Montel Jordan. But he's great for what he's done and what he do. But people like yourself, even greater. I have Bishop T.D. Jakes. He met me. Look, he learned how to use his gift, which is him sharing the word of God.
Right.
But people like yourself who decide that, hey, you're going to pour into me, you're going to stop and share with me just a moment of your time.
Right.
Has now transitioned to this. Not just me coming on your podcast or whatever, your show.
Right.
But it has become you saying, hey, you're my friend.
Right.
I want to see you win.
Right.
But it's also the opposite. I want to see you win. If I can do anything for you,
Amen.
not just, I mean, if I can do it now, but especially in our journey forward.
Right.
You got me. Because you're pointing to me just because of a conversation.
Right.
And you gave me the time. Do you know how many people have walked by me standing out there in D.C.? Look, I promise you, look, probably one of the greatest things that I got to see. I watched a bunch of movies. And in these movies, if you have never seen the movie Dolomite on Netflix, go watch it.
Okay.
He was telling people, look, I'm going to be great. I'm going to be great. People didn't understand it. They didn't even believe it. He became great. I understand where I'm at in life. I enjoy the moment. Because the moment, this will go by. Later on, I'll be looking at it from the butterfly standpoint,
Right.
looking and saying, man, look at the people that I got to impact, that I got to meet. To me, that's the greatest thing in the world is our impact on whether it be the youth or people that you meet just standing on a corner, sharing your story in front of a museum. God has blessed me.
I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you, man.
I'm proud of the fact that you've decided to change your narrative for good. It doesn't matter how many times you fall or you failed at it. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. We all have different stories. I never did drugs. I never had guns and all of that stuff. But it don't make me better than you. I've been through my own.
Yes.
And I came out of it.
Everybody's problem to me
Yeah.
is on the same path.
Right.
It doesn't matter if you got cancer or whether you go to prison.
Right.
They're on the same level to
Right.
God
Right.
because they're your journey.
Right.
And to me, I just love this journey.
Yeah. The beautiful part of it is when you say you have no regret. That speaks a lot because it means everything I've been through, I learned from it, and I'm moving forward. It's how I write the narrative from here. That's what matters, and that's what I'm tapping into. That the narrative has been improving. Again, when I met you, it was one book, What If? And you came now, it's another book. We're still that one in line. It shows growth. It shows consistency. You know what I'm saying? So what I would say is keep writing, keep looking, keep searching. Maybe what we should also do as friends is I'll probably help you do some research and see where you can get better publishing deals, better publisher, bigger publishers who would listen to your story, your narrative, and be able to take your product. Because publishers are like record labels, you know, right? If you have a good record company, they could take it and take it somewhere.
I promise you.
But if you have like the regular guys, so So we could
Brainstorm.
We could see how you can do better, and then you can go back to prison through the right door
And help.
and help people and go have more conversations with people. And I'm open to talking to some of your friends or some of these people that has been there and come out. Because this whole thing is about storytelling and let people who's listening to us learn from the story and be ready to change. So my last question to you would be, what's your message for that boy or that girl who's currently treading on the same path that you did once tread right now? What will you say to that kid?
Find your gift. And then whatever that gift is, work on it. I would encourage them, if they can or if they will, to put down whatever they're doing, whether it's drugs or whatever, and work on the gift. I had a gift. I didn't know that it could move forward. Go find the information. Today, your phone is the computer. You can find everything you need right there at your hands. You just got to be able to work this thing and learn to move forward. Consistency.
Right.
Consistency breaks doors. Me, I know one thing, don't stop. Because if I had stopped 2 years ago when I was almost broke,
Right.
I was about to start living off my credit card, and I ended up going into a store, into my sister's hair salon, and there was a guy there. I told him my story after I showed him my book. This man told me to come back next week, and he said, look, he handed me an envelope. And I went back to my car, opened it up, and there was $3,000 in there. He didn't know. God do. Trust God and where you're going. Don't lean not into your own
Understanding, yes.
Because the world might look dark, but what God knows is there's somebody who's going to need your story, and you have to trust God enough to say, yo, I don't know everything. I don't know what's coming in the pipeline. You know, help me. And you never know. The next day could be help. So trust God, work on whatever gift you got,
Yeah.
and I guarantee you that in time you'll be able to tell your story to other people that'll help them.
Yes, sir. So, for every boy, or every girl, every young man, every young woman,
And don't give up.
yeah, no matter where you're living, in Nigeria, where I'm from, here in America, where I live now, in Yugoslavia, in China, in Japan, in somewhere in Europe, somewhere in Asia, somewhere in South Africa, somewhere in East Africa, somewhere in North America, somewhere, anywhere you are in the world, and you are listening to us, or you're watching, this podcast, we are all nothing but pencil in the eyes of the Creator.
That's it.
And we sometimes, like John Legend said, take it slow. We're just ordinary people.
Ordinary.
We're just ordinary people. We need to really, sometimes we're just chasing something, and we need to slow it down. I had to quit my job at some point because it was mentally stressing me. And the initial fear
Was scared.
was, if I quit my job, how am I going to live? What am I going to do? How am I going to pay my bills in America? But I promise you that God does not give you any problems that He's not made or created a solution for. And I can tell you that's like one of the biggest decisions I have made. Because at that time, it looked as if the job had fulfilled its purpose for me. Now it's time for me to go
Fulfill
the purpose for God.
There you go.
You know what I mean? So let's stop chasing it, and let's slow down a little bit and listen to God and listen to our mind. And self-development is key. There's so many ways to make money. YouTube is there. People are creating business. Ideas is selling. And you know the funny thing, even right now, you can sell weed legally.
And legally, I wouldn't do it because to
Yeah,
me, I'm
yeah,
against it.
yeah.
I quit smoking weed. I
Right,
quit drinking and
right,
everything, but
yeah.
it was for a reason.
Yeah, but now you can sell it legally.
Yes.
For recreational and medical purpose in the state of DC and all that. But get the right license for it.
And do the right thing.
And do the right thing, you know. So let's slow it down a little bit and let's not be too fast. Let's listen to God, listen to our heart, and look for that gift we have and develop ourselves. So on behalf of myself and my family, my friends, my team at the Conversation Podcast, I want to say a very big thank you for coming to share
Thank you.
your life with us. It's really impactful. I'm sure a lot of people will be touched by this. And I still want to talk to some of your friends if it's possible to.
I got you.
Okay, to make that happen. We need to know what also happened to them and how they've been able to navigate and find themselves in a better place that they are, so other people can learn from them. So my brother, Walker.
Hey.
I appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you,
Thank
man.
you. Yeah.